Want to speak real Russian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at RussianPod101.com.
In this series, you'll master Russian pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in Russian, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In this first lesson, you'll learn about the building blocks of the Russian pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. The Russian alphabetical writing system is derived from the Cyrillic script, which is one of the most commonly used writing systems in the world. The Russian alphabet is made up of 33 letters, consisting of 21 consonants, 10 vowels, and 2 extra letters which act as modifiers. But be careful not to fall into a very common trap. As you're learning to speak correctly, you shouldn't concern yourself with all the letters. That's right, forget them. You care about the sounds of Russian, and here they are. There are 37 consonant sounds and 13 vowel sounds. Each symbol that you see here represents a single sound determined by the IPA, which is a standardized way to represent sounds without the baggage that's usually involved with traditional letters. By using all of these sounds, you can form every single word in Russian. Have you noticed how most consonant sounds in Russian exist in pairs?
K, ki, m, mi.
In each pair, there is the original pronunciation of the consonant sound, k, and that same sound, but with an added y sound,
Ki.
Nearly all consonant sounds in Russian exist in this kind of pairing. So if you know how to pronounce the original sound, it's quite easy to figure out its counterpart simply by adding an additional y sound. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 37 consonant sounds in Russian, you already know 15 of the original sounds. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore 10 of the vowel sounds for the very same reason. With just a tiny bit of effort and creativity, you could effectively ignore 14 more consonant sounds simply by adding a y sound to the ones that you already know. The only thing standing between you and perfect Russian pronunciation is 8 new consonant sounds and 3 new vowel sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Katya, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
Привет, меня зовут Катя.
Katya will be giving you native pronunciation examples for you to imitate. But for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of Russian.
Рыба, горло, река, 3, синий, есть, щетка, щель, цель, отец, чай, часы, жест, тяжелый, дрожжи, езжу, ты, мы, южный, юноша, Россия, молоко.
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes Russian learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of Russian. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your Russian sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer, you will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in Russian. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on. And for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. In this lesson, you'll learn the top 5 Russian pronunciation mistakes to avoid. These are common mistakes that Russian learners tend to make, so pay close attention and make sure that you don't make these same mistakes too. Are you ready? Then let's get started. This is a rare sound that doesn't exist in many languages. Many Russian learners are unable to pronounce this vowel simply because it's unfamiliar to them. When Russian learners attempt to pronounce this vowel, they tend to pronounce it as
I,
instead of.
ы,
This is an issue because the former sound is another vowel in Russian. Consider these 2 words.
бить, быть.
These 2 words sound very similar, but their meanings are completely different. It is essential that you're able to clearly distinguish between the 2 vowels.
I, ы.
The inability to do so could lead to some very problematic misunderstandings. We'll cover this sound in the next lesson. Stay tuned so that you can correct this common mistake. This is another letter that's difficult for Russian learners to deal with. The soft sign is a letter that acts like a modifier. It doesn't produce any sound on its own, but is instead used to affect a preceding letter's sound quality by adding palatalization. The problem arises when speakers pronounce words without paying attention to the tiny soft sign. Compare the following examples. Listen to Katya and pay attention to the way it's pronounced in the following words.
Брат, брать. Угол, уголь. Мать, мат.
Sometimes the soft sign may be the only quality that distinguishes two words. As you can see, ignoring the soft sign will undoubtedly lead to miscommunication. But don't worry, we'll teach you all about these sounds and palatalization throughout this series.
Щ,
This is another difficult sound for Russian learners. It should sound similar to the shch sound in the words fresh cheese, but a little softer, or like the sh in the words ship or sheep. Be careful though, because it's not the same as the sh in shock. The sh in ship forces the tongue to be raised higher than in words like shock. Listen carefully to the way that Katya pronounces this consonant.
щ. Щ. Плащ. Щука. Щетка.
Notice how it sounds a little more constricted and tense. It also sounds slightly longer than other consonants. If you want to know how to pronounce this sound correctly, stay tuned until Lesson 6, where we break it down in detail. There are many different ways to construct statements and questions in Russian, either with or without the use of interrogative words like what, why, when, how, and so forth. And because of this fact, things can get quite chaotic when improper intonation is used. Intonation can transform a statement into a question, and vice versa in Russian. Many students of Russian don't pay much attention to intonation. Without the proper intonation, however, it's very difficult for native listeners to judge whether the utterance is a statement or a question. Compare the following examples.
Это музей. Это музей?
The first example is a statement, meaning, this is a museum. The second is a question, meaning, is this a museum? As you can see, changing the intonation alone can change the meaning of a sentence entirely. Improper use of intonation can lead to very problematic communication. Try to pay attention to the way native Russians pronounce sentences and try to imitate them. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get it straight away, though, because intonation usually comes naturally the more you study a language.
Й. И.
Many letters in Russian look very similar, and this can be a difficult problem for new learners. This is particularly true for these two letters.
Й.
Is a consonant, and it sounds like the Y sound in boy.
И.
Is actually a vowel, even though it looks very similar to the previous letter. It sounds like the I sound in visa. Consider the following examples.
Мой. Мои. Твой. Твои.
Clearly, failing to recognize these two letters will result in the wrong pronunciation. Try to be mindful of these two letters and other letters that may look alike in Russian. Now you know the top 5 Russian pronunciation mistakes to avoid. Try to be careful so that you don't make these same mistakes.
Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
In this lesson, you'll learn all 13 Russian vowel sounds. By learning all of these sounds, you'll be able to pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in Russian. Are you ready? Then let's get started. There are a total of 13 vowel sounds in Russian, all of which can be broken down into 3 categories: hard indicating, soft indicating, and unstressed vowel sounds. First, let's take a look at all 5 hard indicating vowel sounds. The first vowel is
А. Да. Атом. Трава.
This vowel sound is identical to the A in far. Be sure to lower your jaw and allow the mouth to open completely.
А. 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 А.
The next vowel is
Это. Экран. Жест.
This vowel sound is identical to the E in education.
Э. 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 Э.
The next vowel is
Ты. Ты. Мы. Язык.
raise the middle part of your tongue all the way to the roof of your mouth until there's only a tiny opening for air to travel through. The back of the tongue should be flat against the back roof of the mouth so that the tongue is tense. Try to create a narrow channel from the base of the throat all the way to the roof of the mouth. Your lips should remain neutral. Listen to Katya.
И. 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 И.
The next vowel is
О. Он. Облако. Овощи.
This vowel sound is very similar to the O in or. Exaggerating the lip rounding may also help with the pronunciation of this sound.
О. 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 О.
The final hard indicating vowel is
У. Удочка. Муж. Пуля.
This vowel sound is identical to the U in true. Be sure to raise the back part of your tongue all the way up against the back roof of your mouth. Exaggerating your lip rounding may also help with the pronunciation of this sound.
У. 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 У.
You just learned 5 hard indicating vowel sounds. Now let's move on to soft indicating vowel sounds.
Я. Яблоко. Ягода. Яхта.
This is identical to the yaw sound in yard. Be sure to lower your jaw and allow your mouth to open completely.
Я. 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 Я.
The next vowel is
Е. Есть. Евро. Ездить.
It sounds very similar to the YE in year.
Е. 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 Е.
The next vowel is
И. Имя. Пить. Щи.
It's identical to the double E sound in C.
И. 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 И.
The next vowel is
Ё. Тетя. Актер. Своё.
It sounds very similar to the YO in your.
Ё. 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 Ё.
The final soft indicating vowel is
Ю. Южный. Юбка. Юноша.
It sounds very similar to you. Be sure to raise the back part of your tongue all the way up against the back roof of your mouth. Exaggerating your lip rounding may also help with the pronunciation of this sound.
Ю. 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 Ю.
Well done! You've learned all the hard and soft indicating vowels in Russian. The final 3 vowel sounds are sounds that are only produced when certain vowels are in unstressed syllables. The first vowel sound that occurs in unstressed syllables is
А. Россия. Молоко. Вода.
This is similar to the U in Russell. The key part here is to pronounce it quickly.
А. 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 А.
The next vowel sound is
А. Облако. Новая. Кожа.
it's identical to the A in about. When practicing, make sure you pronounce it about instead of about.
А. 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 А.
The final sound that occurs in unstressed syllables and the final vowel sound for this lesson is
Е. Еда. Язык. Дерево.
it's identical to the YI in yippee. The key part here is to pronounce it quickly.
Е. 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 Е.
Well done! You've just learned all 13 vowel sounds in Russian. With these sounds, you can pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in the Russian language. Isn't that great? In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Russian pronunciation. Russian pronunciation is arguably easier to learn than English. Consider the following English words. The first word is pronounced colonel, not colonel. The second word is pronounced arise. Adding an N, however, doesn't give you arisen, but arisen. The last word is pronounced ate, but adding an H doesn't give you hate. Instead, it becomes height. English is notorious for being a difficult language to learn, and it can be very frustrating for learners due to the fact that its pronunciation rules often don't make a lot of sense.
Russian, on the other hand, can seem like a blessing when compared to English. Дуб. Вода. Дом. Russian is primarily pronounced as it's spelled. There are some exceptions, but they're governed by more defined rules compared to English. Even loan words, like the greeting you learned in the previous lesson, are largely pronounced as written. Здравствуйте. All you need to learn now then are the sounds of Russian.
There are many vowel and consonant sounds in Russian. Luckily, Russian puts its letters into 2 main categories of sounds, hard and soft.
There are a total of 10 vowels in Russian, and they're divided equally. There are 5 hard vowels which are a little similar to English. A, E, U, O, U. And 5 soft vowels. These are vowels that have a netted glide or Y-like quality, making them sound softer. Я, Е, И, Yo, You. Please note, though, that the number of vowel sounds do not equal the number of vowel letters. There are actually more vowel sounds than represented by letters.
Similar to vowels, consonant sounds can also be hard or soft.
B, B, V, V, D, D, Z, Z.
Unlike vowels, though, consonants aren't differentiated into separate letters based on their hardness or softness alone. A single consonant letter is used to represent 2 sounds, one hard
M,
and one soft.
M.
This is because Russian is actually read in blocks. We use the closest vowel which comes after the consonant to indicate whether to pronounce the consonant hard or soft. If the consonant is followed by a hard vowel, then the consonant is also pronounced hard.
Ма, масло.
On the other hand, If the consonant is followed by a soft vowel, then the consonant is also pronounced soft.
Мя. Мясо.
The many contrasts between hard and soft consonant and vowels is what gives Russian its distinct gliding sound.
We saw before how a relationship exists between letters and sounds based on their hardness. Voicing is another quality that's important to be aware of when learning Russian pronunciation.
Voicing simply refers to whether or not your vocal cords are vibrating or not vibrating. English has voiced pairs as well. Consider the following letters: P, B, T, D, K, G. Do you notice the relationship between these letters? The letters in each pair are pronounced exactly the same, the only difference being that one requires your vocal cords to vibrate and the other to not vibrate. Sounds that do not require vibration of the vocal cords, like all the ones on the left-hand side, are considered voiceless, while sounds that do require vibration of the vocal cords, like all the ones on the right-hand side, are considered voiced. Consider the following example in Russian. This letter is pronounced
G. But this word here isn't pronounced bog, but bog. Notice how the letter G is written, which is a voiced letter, but is actually pronounced as the letter K, a voiceless letter.
So what ended up happening? The final consonant is a voiced consonant, but when the word is being pronounced, the letter is actually read using the voiceless counterpart instead.
This occurs to all words that end in the final consonant in Russian. Final consonants are pronounced voiceless. So despite what's written, always pronounce the final consonant in Russian using the voiceless version. B, zub, z, без. The key to perfecting Russian pronunciation is to master hard and soft pairs and voiced pairs.
Unlike many other languages, Russian pronunciation is heavily affected by sounds that are adjacent to each other, often adopting the sound qualities of the letters that surround them.
Once you understand the concept and the relationship between hard and soft pairs and voiced pairs, Russian pronunciation actually becomes quite logical and easy to learn.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, we introduced you to some important concepts for learning Russian pronunciation. You learned that there are hard and soft pairs in Russian, about voiced pairs in Russian, and that letters can adopt these sound qualities. If you're interested in learning more about Russian pronunciation, check out the entire course we created named The Ultimate Guide to Russian Pronunciation. In that course, we cover and break down every single sound in the Russian language, showing you mouth and tongue positioning and giving you tips to help you perfect your Russian pronunciation.
10 hardest words to pronounce. 10 hardest words to pronounce it. Russian pronunciation is not easy. So, are you ready for the challenge? Now, let's begin. Split. Come out to the surface. Split. Split. I bet you can't say that. I guess what's difficult about this sound is that V and S come together, one after the other. Split. Because split is swimming or floating. So something comes out from inside the water to the top, to the surface. So split. Split. Okay? Now you can say this word. Днем. In the afternoon. Well, here you have a hard D changing with the soft yo. So it sounds like днем. I prefer having my breakfast in the early afternoon. Я предпочитаю завтракать рано днем. Достопримечательность. Attraction. Достопримечательность. For example, when you're going to Paris or somewhere, you can see many different tourist attractions. Let's make a sentence. Eiffel Tower is one of the tourist attractions. Эйфелевая башня – одна из туристических достопримечательностей. Кремль – главная туристическая достопримечательность Москвы. Kreml is a main tourist attractions in Moscow. Did it sound too long? Well, sorry, that's Russian, guys. Ёжик, hedgehog. Ёжик, ёжик. Этот ёжик такой милый. This hedgehog is so cute. Здравствуйте. Hello. Здравствуйте. Actually, in the middle of this word, there's a letter V. You can see in the writing form, but when you say it, it disappears. So instead of здравствуйте, we just say здравствуйте. When you see someone for the first time or someone you don't know, you can say здравствуйте. Меня зовут Катя. Hello, my name is Katya. Пожалуйста. Please. Пожалуйста. This word is usually used in the beginning or in the end of the sentence. So if you want to ask for something, you can say, give me the receipt, please. Дайте мне чек, пожалуйста. Преподаватель. Teacher. Преподаватель. Well, basically teaching is преподавание, or to teach someone is преподавать. Basically to bring your knowledge to someone. My teacher was late to the class today. Сегодня мой преподаватель опоздал на урок. 5. 5. 5. 5. Give me 5. Дай мне 5. Yay! Чебурашка. 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 It's a made-up word for the animation character. For example, I used to love watching Чебурашка. Когда я была маленькая, я обожала смотреть Чебурашку. Шишка. Pine cone. Шишка. Well, how shall I explain this? It's like when you're trying whistling, but you can't, so you say shh, you know? And then you just put another sh after, so shishka. Maybe it helps you. Shishka. There were many pine cones in the forest. В лесу было много шишек.